I let them know that it's not their fault. Because that's the first thing we have to address. Because usually as a parent, as a grandparent, over time you're going to learn more information. Just like even, and this is one thing about money that I realize is that it blurs the lines when it comes to color, right? So a lot of us didn't learn about credit until we had to use it, right? And so even when it comes to money, there's certain things in which you don't learn until when you need it. And unfortunately in the Black community, a lot of our conditioning has been tied to the things that we can celebrate and not the things in which we could implement within our household that will outlive us. And so some of the things in which, and going back to your question, the first thing in which we address is just their feelings, right? Like we have to address that for them to feel confident and as well competent to see it through. Once we identify and once we are all clear on like what has manifested, we then talk about really the two things that's guaranteed in life. Like you said, an expedite this time frame, death and taxes, right? And so one of the tools that I saw utilized when it came to having conversations with our counterparts and they're sharing with me how that trust fund money got there. I remember very clear one saying, hey, when my grandparents passed away, they left X. And that's where it started, right? That's where it started. And so, of course, utilizing insurance as a tool to be able to provide some, I'll say some access for the next generation. And my question all the time is, what would you do if you were not here, but you had the money to fund the dreams and goals for your son and daughter?
We don't like talking about death insurance policy.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all, because you're not able to utilize it, right? And so it's one of those things where you tell someone you love them so much that you're going to provide this for them and not be able to see their reaction to it. It takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of vision. And then it takes, you have to be selfless, in some form or fashion. And, regardless of who I'm talking to, I always ask, all right, who in here knows their great-great-grandparents by first and last name? 9 times out of 10, it may be one person that raised their hand. And the only reason why is because they left something for them, right? Mm-hmm. So how can we create that environment for the Black community? How can we create enough energy around what this can alleviate for the next generation? But a lot of that is just going to have to really boil down to them feeling like it's not their fault. Because some of the resentment is just like, I didn't get this. I had to work hard for it, and you're telling me I need to start thinking about the next generation. Not saying it's a wrong thought process, it's just incomplete.